the Senate hearing yesterday, which was really, really interesting. And by the way, it was a field hearing. This is related to Medical Properties Trust and Steward. In this case, whether it's the left or the right side of the aisle, it doesn't really matter, because what this is really about is getting at truth, right? And working towards fixing what is undeniably like a national tragedy that like hardly anybody knows about. Steward is obviously topic 1A because they operate the hospitals, and the hospital's level of service and/or cutting operations is what is most acutely felt. One of the things that we've been very critical of is how Medical Properties Trust specifically, and this is very unique to them, right? Like, this is not a thing that you see anywhere else in REITs. It's a question as to whether or not they're on side with the letter of the law versus the spirit. And I think that like what they do and what they've done demonstrably over their history is kind of go right up against that line and slightly over it until someone tells them to back off, and they kind of retrench back. And what I'm referring to is like REIT rules are just a tax shelter, right? Like all a REIT is a tax shelter under the US code, where you basically trade the benefit of not having to pay corporate income taxes for functioning as a pass-through. And what MPW does is, and obviously investing in property, right? Like that's the idea behind a REIT. And what MPW does is repeatedly invest in the operator and hide that inside of a REIT wrapper, so to speak. So like conceptually, if you own the real estate and you charge rent that is unaffordable and equal to more than the profitability of the hospital system, and you own, part or most of the system itself and make operating loans to the system, the REIT is pulling out all of the economics. And if that flows inside a REIT wrapper, you're basically like, you're taking all the profitability and the assets out of what would be a C Corp and dodging corporate income taxes on it.
Just think of it as a bloodsucker, right?
Yeah.
It's a bloodsucker. If you ever walked into a Canadian lake near me and you get like 3 or 4 of those on your kid's legs, you'll know what it means, right? And it's just going to keep on sucking until you take it off. Yeah. So good morning, you bloodsuckers at MPW. What we do when the kids get bloodsuckers on their legs is that we pour salt on them. So that's what happened to you yesterday. Now the government's going to pour salt on you, and your whole business model is broken. And by the way, the spirit versus the letter of the law, like there's a morality to this. This is why when you said the pain, we're talking about like people losing their lives, people losing, quality healthcare, people, the bloodsucker just sucking the actual life out of human beings. We're not talking about like, some tomfoolery by Balsack in his accounting in the plane. We're talking about real human loss and suffering that they're accountable for. And there's a reason why countries like Canada, Sweden, they don't allow this. They don't allow privateers with loopholes and, accounting gimmicks to suck the blood out of their hospital system or their hospitals. You can criticize Canada. I will too. I mean, all you want about their healthcare system, but at least you don't have that. You're not going to, your child's not going to die, or you're not going to die because Ed Balsack is sucking the life out of you. That's not possible in Canada or Sweden. Yeah, it's not capitalism. This is this wouldn't happen in Sweden and Canada, but it happened in Poland. It happened in Russia. That's the whole oligarch system. You suck it out of the people and you give it to the few elites that can capitalize on the system that they perpetuate. So, we've done enough on this one.
Hey there, Hedgeye Nation, or if you're not part of Hedgeye Nation, thanks for watching Hedgeye on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure to click on the button below there. Subscribe to our YouTube page. You can also follow the link in the description to our website to get even more great investing content.